She was a glint in her father's eye. And so Denise will give us some recollections, I think.
I won't do my usual hour lecture. Very grateful to Michael, who's written this lovely little book, On What Time is Mass, which gives the history of St Joseph's Parish. Very informative. But I'm not going to talk about that because that's rather informative. But I'm going to say, when we started, I don't know if you know, but like the early church, we were in the upper room. And although there weren't just 11 of us, there was probably fewer than 20. And the chapel was over the top of Byron's Hairdressers on Main Street. There was a little chapel of ease for the people of Kirkby Lonsdale, so that they didn't have to go up to Underley, which was then a junior seminary, or down to St Mary's in Hornby. And the priests from Underley College used to come across and say Mass here. And when we first bought our house, we didn't actually live here, but we bought the house. And I remember one weekend my mother came running up the stairs and saying, "I don't know if you know, but there's a man in your kitchen making jam sandwiches." And I said, "What's he look like?" She said, "Well, he looks a bit like a Catholic priest." "I'm sorry, Father, but there is a look." And it was Father Dennis Corbishley who used to walk across the field, say Mass. And in those days, I think the older of us will remember, he had to fast from midnight for communion. So he used to go and help himself to breakfast before he went to Underley. Underley was quite famous for its chapel. They built this enormous chapel on the side of Underley Hall, and apparently it was quite famous because it appeared in the International Journal of Architecture on the next page to the Aswan Dam. Which made it quite a significant piece. But they used to come down here. Father Dennis was he was the pro-rector of Underley, and so we were very pleased to have him. I then moved to Lancaster University and was living on the roof of the college in a flat, not just on the roof, in a flat. And Father John Turner was the first chaplain of Lancaster University, and my husband thought it was wonderful that because I was living there, they put a Catholic chaplaincy right outside my windows, and he said, "Could you ask them to speak up, and then you don't have to get out of bed on Sunday morning." So then we moved here, and guess what? The diocese put a Catholic church right outside of my windows. And my husband said, "Ask them to speak up, you don't have to get out of bed on Sunday." At that point he began to suspect that I did have miraculous powers. Wherever I lived, the diocese would very kindly give me a church. And then we moved to America, and if you'd like to guess what was on the end of our street, it was a Catholic church, and my husband thought I had a hotline to God. This wasn't bought until 1966, by which time I'd already got married. And because this wasn't here, we weren't licensed to marry here in Kirkby Lonsdale, and the chaplaincy wasn't built. Father Turner married me and my husband in the cathedral because it had the longest aisle. That's what he said. But in '66, there was a petition made to register this place, which was now this building, as for the solemnisation of marriages under Section 41 of the Marriages Act. And it had to be at least 20 people signed this petition to say this is their place of worship, and they want to hold marriages here. So there are 21 signatures on this. It's a copy. Michael has the original. And I do think it would be nice, Michael, if we framed this and hung it in St Joseph's room, because it's a really lovely legal document pertaining to this actual parish. Some of the names you might recognise: Ainscough, Malone, Defoe,
Still living.
Manley, me, but some of the signatures you can see. I will leave this there if you want to have a look at it. Michael, I hope you will put it in with St Joseph's room. So from this, 50 years, this little parish has developed into a significant parish. We've got a congregation nearly 70 in number, which I think doubles on major feast days, and you try to get a seat and you can't. We've got a priest and a deacon of our own. We've got a choir, which, believe it or not, numbers 10% of the parishioners, although they're on holiday at the moment. It has this beautiful meeting room, a social centre, which is here, a twinned parish in Malawi, two parishes in Malawi. It has an active part in Christians Together in Luiz with the other churches in Kirkby Lonsdale. So we've got altogether an identity here and a presence as St Joseph's Catholic Church. It is literally on the map, and it's certainly on your sat nav. And we've had some wonderful priests here over the last 50 years, and believe it or not, for the last 11 we've been very blessed in having Canon Ruscillo, who, apart from his many other properties and talents, is far and away the best preacher I have ever had the privilege of hearing. So there's a very personal thank you.
I would have preferred if you'd said, with his Portuguese background, looks like and has the stature of Ronaldo. But anyway, that's okay, I don't mind. No, I don't want the money, I just want the looks!
Well, I think you've got that. But we've also got a lot of lovely young people in the parish, which is very nice. And I hope they will be able to come here in another 50 years and celebrate the centenary here. And then I think you'll be able to say, like I can, I was here 50 years ago and I saw this all starting. Well, 50 years from now, you'll say, I was here for the semis, whatever, after 50 years. And I hope we'll continue to grow. I hope it will become even more an important part of the local community. And I just listed a place of peace and repose for everybody, not just the Catholics. A place where people meet to praise God, to join together in worship and fellowship, but not always friendship. That's my experience. And to do good works for others while we hold our own praises here. So welcome, and I hope the little ones, our younger members, Father, would you like to help them cut the cake?
Oh, I think we should have the younger ones come in. Thank you, Denise, that was lovely. Okay. You come round here because you can help cut the cake too. You stand that side, Douglas. And you come here. And then we're all going to hold the knife. Oh, right, okay. And just, right, go on. Yeah, Hannah.
Hannah made this lovely banner. That's Hannah's banner.
That's Hannah's.
Well done, Hannah. Hooray! We're ready. Come on then, have a smash.
That's good. Excellent. There you go. Round of applause.
Next, we get married.